Throughout the 12 centuries of the ancient Roman civilization, polytheistic religions and foreign cults were adopted and adapted by the Roman people. History, scholarship, and Hollywood have paid considerable attention to the 12 most famous gods, collectively known as the De Consentis, whose origins, myths, and cult practices were derived from or influenced by those of the Greek Olympian gods.
However, to the ancient Romans themselves, it was the deities known as the Lares who were the most familiar and characteristic to their daily lives.
Originally, the Lares were state gods associated with agriculture, community, boundaries, and place. They have no obvious Greek equivalency or connection and belong within a pantheon of traditional Roman gods. As guardians of Roman territory, the Lares are not gods of myth, but rather gods of place. As Roman territory grew, the development and design of different built environments continued to reflect the importance of the Lares and their worship within urban spaces. Shrines dedicated to the Lares were built into the architectural fabric of domestic, public, and civic spaces as extensions of the whole community. But who are the Lares? Lares were the Roman gods of space and place. Lar could appear in the singular, but are more often depicted in a pair as mirror images of each other. In paintings, they are young, cheerful, merry-making men, often with longer curly hair, short tunics, and soft boots. No Lar is ever depicted in the Roman toga or military dress, which makes them distinct from the iconography of Roman ancestors or underworld deities. They hold an array of objects associated with their merriment, fertility, and sacrifice. Lares are often shown lifting a drinking horn in one hand, called a raiton, and carrying a libation bowl for wine or a sacrificial dish called a patera in the other hand. Lares were reportedly fond of the Roman staple meat pork, but were happy to accept bits from any and every meal. Paintings and frescoes usually depict two registers, with the Lares in the upper register flanking the master of the household spirit deity known as the genus, receiving their sacrifices. The lower register depicts snakes that, like the Lares, could come in the singular, but more often appear as a pair in a world of cultivated vegetation. Separate from the Lares, they receive their own distinct offerings of pine cones or eggs, and, with rare exceptions, appear parallel but distinct from the upper register.
Numerous bronze statuettes of Lares have survived from the Roman provinces and come in two types, either standing or dancing. Standing Lares still clearly convey a sense of motion, either through their posture or their clothing, and are far rarer than those who dance.
The oldest surviving evidence for Lares comes from an archaic Latin hymn sung by the Arval Brethren, an order of elite priests who worshipped the agricultural goddess Dea Dia. The ancient hymn invoked the protection of the Lares, while the priests simultaneously performed a ritualized three-step dance.
The surviving paintings and bronze statuettes of the Lares suggest that these Roman gods of space and place have always been connected to communal security and dance, who received daily gifts and honors in their shrines known as Larariums. The city itself was divided into 14 regions, 265 computa of religious locations belonging to the Lares.
More Lararium shrines are found in the domestic and urban landscapes of ancient Rome than any other deities, for the simple reason that Lares traversed all traditional narratives of Roman prosopography. Lararia are found in the kitchen of the simplest of homes to extravagant shrines in larger homes and inside local thermopolia. Communal Lararia could be an unordained niche in the wall at an intersection or an ornate street corner sanctum. Throughout the Roman world, Lararia came in all shapes and sizes.
The most sacred, the most hallowed place on earth is the home of each and every citizen. There are his sacred hearth and his household gods. There, the very center of his worship, religion, and domestic ritual.
Because Lares are gods of space and place, they belong to the Roman community and not the individual. They were honored by both those living permanently in the home and by visitors guarding over all those who came within their boundaries, be they local, foreign, permanent, or visiting. If you could ask the Roman visitor why they might worship another Lares, the simple answer would be, because I am here. As guardians of community, the Lares played special roles in the transitional stages of Roman life. A young boy would offer his bulla, his protective boyhood amulet, to the Lares when he took up the toga of manhood and became a functional citizen within Roman society. A bride-to-be would offer her dolls to the Lares before she left her family home for her grooms. The bride carried 3 coins with her. The first, held in her hand, she gave to her husband at his threshold. The second, carried in her shoe, she then offered to his Lares. The third, carried in a small purse, she carried back out of the house and to the nearest Lares on the corner. Similarly, a newly freed person would hang a gendered doll instead of a ball during the annual festival of the Lares known as the Compitalia, where everyone drank wine, a lot of wine, and enjoyed a communal pork barbecue. Each major life transition of a Roman involved the Lares. Their shrines created a space for people to declare their arrival within a place and be recognized by the community. Local variations of cultic practices and Lararia celebrated the cheerful dancing gods so central to the religious and urban landscape of ancient Rome. The Lares were gods of space and place who protected homes, marked communities, and defined Roman territory.